Oh, you know what? I got up this morning to a video. Some people here in Orlando, Florida, who went to a fine dining restaurant in downtown Orlando to enjoy themselves. A party of 5, 4 black people and 1 white person. And after they had ordered drinks, they're having a 3-course meal. And drinks and everything else, and they were asked to leave the restaurant because the restaurant told them they were taking too long to eat. Meanwhile, there were white people sitting around them, eating and enjoying themselves and their drinks and their desserts and stuff, but the party with the black people was asked to leave. Not only did they ask them to leave, then they decided to weaponize it by calling the police to throw them out. And think how humiliating that is, to be marched across a fine dining restaurant in downtown Orlando with your wife and your friends and being marched out by the police because they said you were taking too long to eat, where white people around you are taking their time. You know, this kind of racial discrimination in public accommodations, that's actually outlawed in the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, as well as in the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And, and it's not just, serving people. That's what all the marches and everything are about in the 1960s, about access to public accommodations, about fair and equal treatment. Fair and equal treatment. That's what it's supposed to be. Black money spends just as good as white money, as well as gay money, as well as women's money. And if any of those groups are being discriminated against, are being treated differently, are being given different treatment because of their complexion, because of their orientation, because of their gender, it is against the law. This is just ridiculous. And the thing, my fear is, this thing that happened in downtown Orlando, this is like the 3rd incident I've heard about in the past couple of weeks of black people either being denied treatment or treated differently or being demeaned, in restaurants by the people working there. That is against the law. Listen, if you own a restaurant, if you manage a restaurant, you better review the law with your lawyers and also the people who work there. We're not going to let you get away with it. It's not just black people, but fair-minded white people. We've had it. We've had it. This country is trying to roll backwards, and I don't really understand. Well, I do understand why. White supremacy is trying to dominate American society again, and we will not go quietly into that. We're not going to allow that to happen. If you run a restaurant, if you own a restaurant, you better know everybody's got a smartphone. Everybody can document what you're doing. And then everybody has access to social media, so they can post and show the world what you're doing and make it go viral. We're not going to tolerate this anymore. If you get treated this way, please let people know. Please let people know. Because we need to push back against this. Every fair-minded person in this country needs to push back against this because we're not going to have it. And we had this situation here in Orlando. I know about people, a couple of truck drivers in South Dakota who they were denied treatment in a Denny's. I know about a woman who went to a restaurant in Atlanta, a black woman who went to a restaurant in Atlanta, and on her ticket, instead of writing her name, they wrote darky. And when she called them on it, they pretended it was nothing, and they wouldn't change it, and they wouldn't give her a refund. And then they said, later on, some kind of a mistake. We don't want those kind of things. We don't want some misunderstanding. I used to work in the hospitality industry. And one of the things they taught you in the hospitality industry is to treat every customer as though they're a guest in your house. Make them feel welcome when they arrive, make them feel welcome while they're there, make them feel welcome when they return. To discriminate against people is not just fundamentally and morally wrong, it's just bad business. How does that help you grow your business? How does that, what is the message? When messages like this get out on social media and on the internet, when people hear what you're doing, those businesses will never be able to live down that reputation. We don't care about your excuses. Don't do it to us in the first place. But I can tell you this much, we're not going to take it. We're not going to take it. So you need to go ahead and hashtag this FAFO. And if you don't know what that means, go ahead and look it up. because we're not taking it anymore.